and finish that up first. Let's get that handled. If you weren't here, I have an extra couple of copies right here. Not many, but a couple. So check in with me about that.
You said you have extra copies of the paper?
Yeah, but they were for people who were absent yesterday, so I don't know.
Oh, and I need.
But you already got 2 copies, I believe. Each person handed one in yesterday.
Yeah, I wanted to practice. I wanted to try to challenge myself without having the.
If I have an extra, then I'll give it to you at the end. But Kim, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Let that warm up. Give me 1 second here. Come back. So I mentioned to those students, if you recall yesterday, that it's important that you be present from this point forward if you can. And make sure you are aware of how many absences you've had, whether or not, so that you can be in class and on top of it. All right, so as soon as this warms up, we'll get started. So yesterday, we were talking in brief about kind of a little review of what we've done so far in the class. And we're going to do a little bit more practice today. Oh, I'm going to have to use my angry pen. I don't have another one. So we were talking about parts of speech. What were the parts of speech that we have covered so far, guys? Give me the basics. Let's start with, let's just start with our SVO. What do we know about that? We've got a noun, right? A noun, what else? What could be another subject?
Proper noun?
Yep, that could be a proper or common. What about,
Article.
hold on. What about another word for subject, something that could be a subject but is not a noun?
A pronoun?
Good. Pronoun is an option. We also found out that to indicate, nice job, to indicate a noun or subject is coming, we are looking for which word?
Article.
Good, an article. And we also found out that there's verbs, and we're going to use a bunch of different kinds, but for today we're just discussed verbs themselves. So we have an action verb, linking verb, those are the ones we talked about. And then what else? A helping verb. Now we talked about the tense of these verbs, did we not? Tense and agreement of the verbs. So they have
Past,
to
present.
Yes, agree.
They have to agree in number, is that true?
Yes.
Yes, they have to agree in number, and they have to be correct tense, okay? We also learned about the words that describe nouns. They are called what?
Adjectives.
Good. And we learned about, this is again just a quick review, adverbs, and those do what?
Describe the verb.
Describe the action.
Good. So what questions do they specifically answer? What questions do these specifically answer? Adjectives tell me what? Who and what. Nope, that's what a noun does. This is who, what. So what does an adjective do? Describes a noun, so it tells...
When?
Shows us that a noun is coming.
No, that's an article.
That's the article, that's like the.
Thank you, Ginger. We got that. We got it, sweetie. We're good. So, Saul, it's if we're going to use an adjective, it answers a question. It says what? Like,
Describes the noun.
it does describe the noun, but it answers a question. What's the question? Sometimes the answer's in the question itself. What's the question? Which one? What? That's right. There we go. Hey, there we go. What? Which
Where,
one?
when, why.
Right. Okay. So we're answering questions with these terms, right? So how many? What color? Okay. These descriptive terms answer questions about our noun. What was another word that we chose for? What was another word that we chose that connected sentences or complete thoughts.
Conjunction, like and.
Conjunctions. Good. Okay. Now, we have subordinating and coordinating. Coordinating, we have our abbreviation of fanboys. Remember that? Yep. And subordinating, what about subordinating? Words like however,
In addition,
right? Although,
After,
after, good. We're missing one more type of word. What is it that we studied? Good, a preposition. Preposition, good, okay. So those are the things that we
isn't
studied.
there one more?
I don't know, was there? An article, an
Topic
adjective?
sentence?
Well, we did talk about that, but we're not focused on that right now. Right now, we're just looking at parts of speech. That's it. Just what we did for the last exercise of the day. Okay?
Oh, okay,
Okay, good. So, let's get back to that exercise briefly, folks. Let's talk about what we did not finish. Alright, so we were outlining the different parts of speech on this handout. So get this out. You guys did this for me as an assessment. I have yet to look that over. You guys will have your results on Monday. But it does, this was a process that we began yesterday, and we're going to continue today. So get it out. If you don't have this, then you need a copy. Make sure you come see me real quick and get a copy. There we go. Thank you. All right. So, let's start with our next sentence. Who's going to read it for me? Let's read the whole sentence. Laura, why don't you begin for us and read the whole next sentence starting with the.
The most loving and affectionate cockatiels are those that are hand-fed as chicks.
Good. So, Laura, I want you to do your best to try to pinpoint the words in this sentence, okay?
Okay, the is the article.
Good.
Most is an adverb.
Okay. You think it's an adverb. Is it describing
No. It's
the
not.
action or is it describing the cockatiels?
The cockatiels.
Okay.
So it's an adjective.
The most loving, affectionate cockatiels. So, is it an adjective? The most loving, affectionate. The most are. So we're talking about. Is this going to be used as an adjective? Yes. That's what we're going to put up there. And then what about loving?
Loving is another adjective.
Good. Remember, we're just looking for, and then we have what?
The conjunction.
The conjunction. Nice. Okay.
Another adjective.
Good. You're on a roll.
A noun.
Nicely done. Is that a common or a proper noun, Laura?
Proper
Good. And then what about are?
is a verb.
Excellent.
Those is a pronoun.
Good. Those is a pronoun.
That is an adjective.
Is that an adjective?
It's describing the cockatiels. Is that? No.
This
No,
is a tough
it's a
one.
preposition.
Nice. There we go.
Are is another verb.
And what about hand-fed? Hand would be what?
A noun.
Is it normally it's a noun, but it's describing how they're fed.
Also an adjective.
Is it?
An adjective?
If it's describing an action, what is it?
Oh, an adverb.
Nicely done. Then what?
Fed, a noun? No.
It's okay, take your time. So if it isn't an action,
Yes,
good.
It's a
So that means it's a what?
a verb.
Good.
And,
Ooh,
as
this
is
one's tough.
it's
As chicks.
a preposition.
Okay, now in this case, are we using as a preposition? As chicks? Fed as chicks? You're right. Now, as is also a what? Coordinating conjunction, is it not? Right. But in this case, we're not using this as a conjunction. We're using this as a prep. And then this is a noun, right? So this is the object of the preposition. Why does that matter? Because the preposition tells us something about our noun, doesn't it? So let's backtrack for 1 second, okay? Let's talk about this for a second. Do you remember our topic sentences? And you remember, I know Sandra remembers, she just told me a minute ago. She said that there was a subject and a controlling idea. Okay, well, if there's a controlling idea, it has what? 2 things, what are they? What is it? What do they have? What's a controlling idea have?
Attitude and sentence.
Attitude. Beatrice offering that with some
And
attitude.
it's limited?
Yes, it is limited and complete, you're correct. But we are talking just about the controlling idea. It's 2 things, it has attitude and it has the development of value, right? Remember that? Development of value, remember that? Yeah? Okay, so if we have the development of value, right? And I notice that I have a prepositional phrase. Does the prepositional phrase give me some value?
Yes.
It does, doesn't it? Okay. So prepositional phrase is as chicks. It adds value. It's not just hand feeding, it's how we're hand feeding them. Or what it is that we're hand feeding, right? As chicks. So it's doing it just like something else. So it gives us value, it gives us some explanation. It helps us to see what it is we're talking about in this particular instance. All right?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So I was trying to read your notes, and so chicks are, does that say adjective?
Noun. Sorry.
Thank you.
Johnny, let's take on another sentence together, all right?
Alrighty.
Read it out loud all together, and then we're going to go word by word.
In addition to being affectionate, cockatiels are intelligent and amusing.
Good. What's the first statement?
In addition will be what's it called? A conjunction, I'm gonna say.
Nope.
Or
What does that say?
well, preposition.
There you go. And then in addition would be what?
Thinking.
This
Well,
one's tough.
first thing that came to my head was an adjective. So,
Okay, why?
it just feels like it's describing something.
Okay. In
Describing,
addition,
yeah,
so
describing the
let's
cockatiels.
read the SVO. When we get lost, we have to read the SVO. Cocktails are intelligent and amusing. In addition to being affectionate, cocktails are intelligent and amusing. Cocktails are intelligent and amusing in addition to being affectionate. In addition to being affectionate.
Like I would say adjective.
Describe it? Like
Is it describing?
Okay.
Is it a noun?
No.
It's not a noun, is it?
It's adding, in addition, it's adding.
It's adding something. Nope. Is it an adverb?
No.
In addition to being something. Go ahead.
Is it a conjunction?
No, not a
Saying
conjunction.
like it's and, like it's,
Let's do this.
Pronoun?
It's, okay, so this is an object of a preposition, and in most cases, I want you to think about the word, in addition. In addition, what is addition? Is it a thing?
It's a common pronoun, proposition.
No, it's a thing.
It's a thing,
Yes.
right? So how we use it and what the word is are 2 different things. So what is the word usually?
It.
It's usually a noun, isn't it?
Yes.
Is it the object of a preposition?
Yes.
Yes. Is the object of a preposition usually a noun?
Yes.
Yes. In this case, are we talking about something specific when we talk about in addition? We're adding something, yes, it is an addition, it is an additional thing, so we were right with noun. And then we have our prep. And then we know that this is a what? To being affectionate. We know that this is a verb phrase, but it's an infinitive being used as a prepositional, right? So usually, is this affectionate in addition to being affectionate? Well, is the cockatiel affectionate or is it being affectionate?
Being
affectionate.
Right, so what am I looking at for affectionate? Is that an adverb? Is that describing how it's being?
Yes.
Or is it describing the bird?
This guy is describing the bird, he's being affectionate. In
Right.
addition, we're being.
Now let's look at the rest of the sentence. It says cockatiels are intelligent and amusing. Okay? If I were to say the intelligent cockatiel, I'd have an adjective. But if I'm saying the cockatiels are something, I'd have what? An adverb. So let's go back to this affectionate thing. Adjective or adverb? They are affectionate. Adverb. Here's our conjunction, okay? And here's our noun. Here's our verb. Okay, we're back to the same pattern that we had before, where we have our descriptive terms, we have our main focus of each sentence, we have our conjunctions, okay? We have the connecting words. So what we do is we essentially break down language by a sentence, and the sentence has main words, okay, and connecting words. And we have main words, connecting words, and descriptive words. This is kind of how we can break our language. Okay, if I put these things together, I can form a pretty solid sentence or paragraph. But in doing them separately, not so much. So again, main words, connecting words, and descriptive words. That's what's in a sentence. So we have to kind of look at things based on what it is we know about those.
So affection is going to be noun.
Good, so a main word would be what? Nouns, pronouns,
Affection.
right? Connecting words, going to be conjunctions.
Affection is.
Adverb.
Adverb, I can't tell what that is for affection.
That's okay.
Adverb?
Yep, connecting words are like conjunctions and verbs, okay? Then descriptive words are what? Adjectives, adverbs. We're going to start with just those. What about prepositions? Okay, all those things. So these are the words we're looking for. These are the words that we're going to identify. Why don't you guys try to do the next sentence independently, and then I'll choose some of you and we'll work through it, okay? So take a minute and do it on your own. Try to do, they are capable. Okay, try to do that one on your own. Try to do that one on your own. Some of you guys just stopped and froze when I handed this out yesterday, so I want you guys to try to do this one on your own. Try to do this one on your own. Don't wait for me. They are capable of whistling tunes and learning to perform a variety of tricks. I want you to do this one on your own. Okay, let's go back to this now. Let's see how well you did. So, first word, David, what is it? They.
In.
They.
They. Oh.
What is that, David? What part of speech is that?
Noun.
Close. We're talking about a person, place, or thing, but we're not actually specifying which person, place, or thing. We're replacing it, so it's a replacement noun. So what do we call that?
Adjective.
No, that's describing.
Pronoun.
There you go. Let's not just guess. Let's think about what our definitions are. It'll make sure that we know what they are, not just throwing the words out. So we got to make sure that we know that a descriptive word is an adjective, and a pronoun replaces a noun. They. Okay.
I guess I got those two mixed up.
That's okay, bud. You're working on it. We're getting there. You're doing well. So they are. What about are, David? Why don't you take that one? Is that an action?
No.
They are something. So
No. It says they are, but it's not really.
it's not really an action. But can you be something? You can be something, can't you? You
Yeah.
could be a firefighter. You could be a person. You could be all sorts of different things.
I mean, I thought it would be an action unless they're saying specifically what the action is, rather than just
That's true.
they are. I mean, they are one.
Right. No, you're right. But is are the word are or the word be, are those verbs?
I think they could be.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. You get it. You get it. So they are. So that's our verb. So what about they are capable? That one's tough. They are capable. So are we describing how they are? Yeah. So if they are capable, what are we looking at here? Hmm?
Pronoun?
Let's try not to shout it out. Let's really work it out together. Let's think about it, okay? So, raise your hand if you think you know. Let's do that. Saul, what do you think it is? They are capable. We know that it's got to be one of two different things, right? It's got to describe, or it's got to describe. So we know that it's either an adjective or it's a what?
It's what?
An adverb. Okay? Sandra, which one do you think it is?
An adjective.
Why?
It's capable is a noun, so it's descriptive of a noun because they.
Is
the
capable a person,
pronoun.
place, or thing?
No.
Or does it describe someone?
Well, capable thing.
It's
a
not
thing.
a thing. Not a thing. You can be capable, but you aren't. Capable isn't a thing. I wouldn't walk down the street and say, capable, jumped off the bridge. That would make sense. Right? It's not a thing. Or capable fell down off the fence.
So does it mean it's an action, so it's
It's
an
an adverb,
adverb?
right? Okay.
Okay.
So this is tough for you guys. We're gonna keep working on this. I think that we need to take a break. You guys look stressed out about this. There's only so much sentence diagramming somebody
I'm
can take.
excited.
All right, okay, that's all right. We're gonna keep working on it. We're gonna keep working on it. I want to take a break from this. I want to move on to something different. You guys, for a minute. We'll come back to it. We have time. So we understand what our different parts of speech are, right? Okay, I want everybody to stand up for a quick second. Stand up. Just stand up real quick. Okay, just do this with me. Just shake it off. Just shake it off. Come on, even if you don't want it, you don't have to, Mark. It's okay, I understand. So just shake it off. All right, now sit down. Now you got rid of all that sentence diagramming. Man, forget about that. That's all the parts of speech just flew into the air. We're all good now. Everybody take a break from that. All right, we're gonna get rid of that for a minute. I have something that might be at least a little bit more engaging for you guys. Okay. So let's talk briefly about, you're going to need your notes out. So let's get your notes out. I'm going to write a few things down and you guys are going to do some work with it. Yes.
The stuff you had on the board a second ago, we pretty much already got in our notes. Was that a mandatory we take that down? Or
No, sir. It was just a repeat.
kind of a refresher.
There you go. Just a repeat. Okay. So, shaking off that grammar stuff for a while. We need a break from that. Okay. Yeah, we do. Beatrice is like shaking her head. No, you don't agree? You don't think so? You want to continue doing grammar all day long, Beatrice?
Yes.
Sweet. All right, well, we can keep, I appreciate that.
Yeah, me too, me too.
You too, you too? We're gonna keep going with the grammar, don't worry. We'll just take a little break for a minute because I want you to see how it comes together, okay? And the problem is that when you guys work on seeing other sentences, it doesn't necessarily help you rewrite your own. Because what you see is a lot of words in different formats put together, and what you notice is that they're all in different formats, right? Whereas when we've been talking, we know that we have one format to work with right now. And that's all I want you to focus on. So that has a subject, a verb, and an object, and a phrase. Okay? And then maybe one descriptive word. That's what I'm going to put up here. One descriptive word. Okay. Now, let's talk about paragraphs for just a second. Once you guys have a topic sentence, okay? Well, first of all, how do we get to our topic sentence? Who remembers? What do we call the process that we do before we get there? Yes, Sandra?
You find the main idea first.
Good.
The paragraph?
Yeah, good. That's good. So how do I go about doing that though? What do we call that? Good, brainstorming. We call that pre-writing, right? So we call that pre-writing. So we are pre-writing, and we do that by, one of the options is to brainstorm an idea. And then we can make a web or a cluster. And then we try to figure out what our main point or main subject is. And then that main subject, does that go all the way through the paragraph? You remember our discussion about cockatiels and how cockatiels was the main subject of the paragraph, but it kept talking about that all the way through? Remember that? Yeah? Is that subject continue all the way through the paragraph then?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. You might see that on the final exam as a question. Does the subject carry all the way through the paragraph? And you would say, yes, it does. That is true. Okay? So our subject, verb, and object, and one descriptive word. Now, I know you guys want to be able to identify these words in sentences, and I appreciate that. That's good practice for us around grammar. But what's more important for you right now is to understand which parts of speech these are. Okay, what parts of speech are these? So, since we are wanting to do grammar, tell me what they are. A subject is? A subject is what?
Noun.
A noun or pronoun. Good. Okay, there's my subject. Okay, all the way through to the subject. I know that my verb, it's a couple of options. I know it's got to be what? Action for now. Linking. Helping. And I know that I have to pay attention to what? Tense and agreement. Okay? I know that my object is also what?
Your noun.
Another noun or pronoun, right? We're going to stay with that for now. Okay? And I know that my phrase is most likely going to be what kind of phrase? Good, prepositional. Preposition plus a noun, pronoun, also known as the object of the preposition. And then I know that I can use descriptive words somewhere in my sentence, and I've got two options. What are they? Adjectives, adverbs. Good. Okay, so the only words that we covered in class that we haven't talked about is an article and a conjunction, right? Where do articles go? They introduce what? Good. So I've got an article here, right? Where else am I going to put an article? There. Wherever's going to be a noun, I'm going to put an article. Yes, David?
I had a question. I mean, I noticed in lab they talked about introductory material. Is that kind of like an article?
Introductory material.
Like something that
Introduces something, tells you something's
Yeah.
coming. Yes, that's an article. That's exactly what it is. That's the definition of an article. It's telling us that something's coming. All right. So if I have an article here and I have an article here and I know that I have another noun in my prepositional phrase, what has to go in between? No, an article. Remember, because it introduces noun or pronoun. Prepositional phrase. In the cabinet. Where's the article? The. Right? Introduces the noun what? Cabinet. Yeah. So you have that the. All right? So now I have a topic sentence. Okay? Let's do this in practice. Let's work one out. So you guys can get out your big feet discussion papers if you want in your journals, or you can just help me. Let's do a practice so that when you guys get this, I can know that you do it. So check it out. Bigfoot. What do you think of when you think of Bigfoot? I want everybody to come up with a word right now. Michael, Bigfoot. Don't shout them out. Bigfoot.
Sasquatch?
Sasquatch. First thing that comes to mind. Beatrice. Huh? What? Big. Well, we're really going out on a limb here, guys. Maria, help me out.
Harry.
Harry. Like Harry the guy or Harry the furry? Furry. Okay. David, what do you think when you think of Bigfoot?
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca. I don't know how to spell that.
Chewy, just put Chewy.
Chewy. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll do that. Chewy.
Chewy.
That could be interpreted incorrectly. But I hear that it tastes like chicken. Mark, what do you think of when you think of Bigfoot?
Man-ape.
Man-ape. Okay? Keep going around the room. What's it?
Fictional.
What?
Fictional.
Fictional. Oh, such a hater. Fictional. All right. Go ahead.
In the wilderness, in the woods.
Okay, woods.
That's where you find them.
Okay, you got your one. There it is.
And gorilla.
Gorilla. That's what you think of? Sebastian.
A monster.
Huh?
A
Gorilla has two R's. A monster.
I don't know.
Okay, what else?
He's around people.
You already
around
said
the
your
place.
one. You already got your one. You can't say another one. Brian.
Ugly.
Ugly.
I thought he was cute.
So,
It's like a big.
we got woods, forest. That's fine. What do you think?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Man.
Man? That's what you think of when you think of Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a 7-foot man.
He's a homeless man.
Okay. Laura?
Intimidating?
Ooh. Okay. Elvis?
1976.
1976. What are you trying to say? That's like close to my birthday.
Oh, you're young.
No, that's not my birthday. I said it's close to my birthday.
Shaq,
Huh?
Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal, or Mr. Hooper, or
Easy.
It's a hoax.
Okay.
Hoax.
Ginger, you already said your one.
Okay.
Sandra?
Beautiful? I'm just teasing.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's cool. Well,
Maybe,
see, I'll
maybe
look.
lives in the mountain.
We got that mountain, and I'm gonna write beautiful because I like that. That's good. We're gonna think positive.
I was just kidding.
I think he looks cuddly. That's mine. Cuddly. All right. Now, there's my quick brainstorm about Bigfoot. Right? Okay. Now, let me ask you a question. What words do I have here? This is the first way that we break down a brainstorm. I know this is how I want you guys to think. Okay. We went around the room and everybody came up with a word that connects to Bigfoot in some way. Is that true? Okay. Well, look. I have to come up with this. Right? This, and something that describes it, maybe even this. All these words, okay? Bigfoot. What's Bigfoot? What part of speech?
No.
A noun. Put an N next to it. What about Sasquatch? Noun. Proper noun, isn't it? No. The descriptive, is Sasquatch, could be Sasquatch directly connected to Bigfoot?
isn't Sasquatch like
I
a
don't know.
Canadian word?
Right. So it's another word, so we're going to put noun next to it. Not a proper noun. What about big? Right, so that's an adjective, isn't it? What about hairy?
Adjective.
Adjective. What about chewy?
Adjective.
Ah, wait a minute. If we're talking about the character, we're talking about the noun.
Yeah.
What about manate?
Noun.
Noun. What about fictional? Ooh.
Adjective.
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 Okay. How about woods?
No.
Noun. What about gorilla?
No.
No.
Good. What about monster?
No.
Noun. We got a lot of nouns. What about cuddly?
Adjective.
Crazy.
The adjective
Average,
is describing what it is.
Adjective.
What about beautiful?
Adjective.
Adjective. What about mountain?
No.
No.
Nice. Shaquille O'Neal.
No.
Proper noun.
Retired.
Oh, from-
Huge. That's what we should write. 1976 is a date.
Oh, of course, no.
Proper noun, right?
Proper noun, describing when.
Intimidating.
Adjective.
Adjective. Are you sure? Okay. What about man?
No.
No.
It's a
Noun.
It's a thing.
It is a thing. Forest.
No.
Thing.
Noun. Ugly.
Noun.
Adjective.
Adjective. You can't call it. Well, I guess you could. Hey, ugly. I don't know. I guess that as uses a noun. All right, good. Look what we have here. We have enough words to fill out this little format, don't we? All right, now, if I go through this process of pre-writing, I have to come up with an idea about Bigfoot. Bigfoot's my big subject, right? So what do you think would be a better topic of discussion here? Are we going to use Bigfoot? Bigfoot's a big topic, right? We could use Bigfoot, but why don't we specify? Why don't we use the word Sasquatch? Do I say something like the Sasquatch or the Sasquatch is something? Or do I want to say something about that? Think about it. I've got to have attitude. I've got to have development. I've got to have limited. And I've got to have complete. And I got to have a subject. All these things have to be in my topic sentence. Okay? What's the subject?
Sasquatch.
Okay, so we're going to use Sasquatch. So are we going to do our descriptive word now? Our article now? So is it a Sasquatch or is it the Sasquatch?
That's the sassy.
The Sasquatch. Now, the sassy.
Sassy.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. If I say the Sasquatch, that means something, doesn't it? What does it mean?
There's no.
It means what? Yes,
I
a
don't
noun is
know.
coming.
I
Well,
don't
what does it
know.
mean?
I
The.
actually don't know what that means.
It's another word for Bigfoot.
Oh my God.
I mean, to the readers or to the public?
If I write this, I'm making a statement here. What am I saying?
Specifically talking about the
Sasquatch.
the.
I'm talking about what? The Sasquatch. Is Sasquatch plural?
No.
No, we're talking one.
Sasquatches. Is there such a word as Sasquatches?
No.
Sasquatch is more like a follow-up word for
Singular,
Bigfoot.
singular.
It's singular and plural, so it can be either or. But if I write the or the Sasquatch, what am I ultimately saying?
It's singular.
That this is only one. It's only one. So if I want to say a Sasquatch, what happens? I'm talking about only one, but I'm talking about the possibility that there's more than one. Do you see the difference? So if I write a Sasquatch,
One of many.
one of many, exactly, as opposed to the Sasquatch, which means it's one specifically that we're discussing. So if we're going to write a paragraph about big feet in general, we would say a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch. But if we're going to say a specific Sasquatch, like Harry and the Hendersons or Chewbacca, then we're talking about we're talking about the Sasquatch. Do you see the difference? The and a? Okay, so let's pick a. Now, do we want to use our descriptive word yet? I think we can. We could use one of our descriptive words. So what kind of descriptive, what are we going to talk about? A what kind of Sasquatch?
Harry.
Hairy Sasquatch.
A brown Sasquatch.
Okay, we don't have that word up there, so we're going to stick to hairy. A hairy
Big or
Sasquatch.
big. You could use big.
You can use a big. There we go, a big Sasquatch. I think big. Can we use both? No, I want to stick to just one. You want to use hairy? All in favor of hairy.
Chewy.
Chewy, I like Chewy better.
All in favor of big? We're gonna make everybody happy. A big, hairy Sasquatch. Now, I can do what most people do, and I can write the word is. Can't I? I can use that as my verb. A something is something else. But there's really not a lot of conversation about that, is there? I mean, a hairy Sasquatch is a Bigfoot, is a man, is an ape man, is a monster. Okay, these are all truths in some way, shape, or form, but they don't present a lot of argument. So what I want to do is I want to try to use an active verb. So what's an active verb? He does something. It does something. More than just be. More than just being, right? A big hairy Sasquatch cooks. Okay, that would be active verb. But now, hold on a second, David, hang on. Let's look in here. Do you see any words that could maybe change into verbs? I do. I see a couple in there. Usually this, oh,
Yes.
that's a good one. Now, if I were to write
Intimidate, yeah.
Yeah.
Intimidating.
intimidating. Does that make sense? No, there's something wrong with that.
Tense.
We have to find the correct tense and agreement. So, a big hairy Sasquatch intimidating.
Intimidates.
Intimidates. Is that right?
Could you put R?
Yes.
Would you put R, like a big, hairy
Yes, but
Sasquatch
yes.
R?
Yes, yes. We could do that. We could do that. We could do that. But here's the thing. I don't think a lot of people are going to question that. I think that when you're writing a topic sentence, you want to express the subject actively engaged in doing something. So the word that we use, we choose a verb that's active. And we got to make sure it's correct in verbs and tense. A big, hairy Sasquatch intimidates. Okay, now hold on a second. Do I have any other verbs in there that would work? We could have fun with one of the words in there if you want them. I know exactly which one I would choose. Nope. A big, hairy Sasquatch intimidates what?
Man.
Go ahead. Man. Intimidates man. That just it's starting to sound a little caveman over here, guys. We gotta speak with an eloquence and articulate ourselves.
Amen.
The man,
The man.
like the man, like. Go ahead, Sandra.
Cuddly, could you put that in for an adverb?
A big hairy Sasquatch intimidates cuddly. We also have to think about, right?
Yeah, I guess I was just trying to look for maybe an adverb on
And that's
this.
an excellent thing to do, but we have to make sure that the whole meaning of the sentence connects. David?
It could be, that might be talking like caves, and I was gonna say, big hairy Sasquatch intimidates man.
Okay, so you're on the right track, guys. We're close, because look what we have. We've got this one, right? We've got this one. We've got our verb. Now we need an article and what? A noun or pronoun. So what's our, intimidates what? The or an? How about the? How about an? What do you think? A or an? A what? Intimidates
Or
a
of,
what?
could you use of?
Gorilla.
No, not
And
of.
ugly?
An ugly man.
How about that? Intimidates gorillas.
Yeah.
Right?